Welcome to Analects of Wisdom, and thank you for joining us for our Sacred Texts Summarized series. Through many generations, the Anishinaabe people have preserved teachings that speak to a universal yearning for balance and harmony. These 7 grandfather teachings, held within stories and ceremonies, illuminate a path that merges moral guidance with a deep reverence for the land. Over time, these principles have woven themselves into the very fabric of Anishinaabe spirituality, sustaining a culture that views every element of creation, human beings, animals, plants, and the earth itself, as sacred. In the time before written records, the Anishinaabe thrived around the vast Great Lakes region of North America. Their oral traditions, carefully passed from elder to youth, bind contemporary communities to an ancient heritage. Oral history recounts a pivotal event. 7 powerful beings, often called the grandfathers, received instructions from the Creator to bestow upon humanity lessons that would guide their moral and spiritual compass. A young boy, chosen by the Creator for his purity and openness, journeyed to commune with the grandfathers. From each, he received a precious teaching, tasked with bringing these living principles back to his people. Through subsequent generations, these teachings came to be recognized as essential pillars of Anishinaabe identity. In the earliest recorded references to these teachings, spiritual elders emphasized a common theme: that each principle must be actively lived, not merely recited. The Anishinaabe aligned these teachings with various animals, respected allies and teachers in the natural world, thereby grounding abstract ideas in the rhythms of daily life. Scholars of indigenous studies often highlight how this interconnected approach arises from a worldview that sees no true divide between the sacred and the mundane. Rather, the spiritual realms intertwine with the physical, demanding that one's moral life reflect and honor this unity. The gift of wisdom. In the lush wetlands of Anishinaabe territory, beavers build intricate lodges, rearranging streams and ponds with industrious creativity. This animal's influence on its environment extends beyond itself, giving shelter and resources to countless other species. Within this ongoing exchange, the Anishinaabe found the living symbol for wisdom. As an elder named Dave Caution has articulated, true wisdom lies not in accumulating knowledge for personal gain, but in harnessing understanding to support communal well-being. Like the beaver's engineering feats, wisdom involves creating conditions where all may flourish. Historical accounts of Anishinaabe life near the northern woodlands describe extended family groups relying on a spirit of collaboration. One could liken it to the beaver's cooperative engagement with the ecosystem. Hunting, fishing, gathering medicines, and crafting daily necessities took place in close relationship with the land. In these practices, wisdom emerged as pragmatic awareness, using resources responsibly, ensuring future generations could live similarly. Anthropologists note that for the Anishinaabe, this was no mere technical approach, but a spiritual imperative, an insight that every decision resonates across time and space, love's expansive sky. The eagle, who soars closer to the heavens than any other bird in Anishinaabe territory, came to represent love, deemed the most potent of all teachings. Far from a romanticized notion, Anishinaabe love is understood as a connective force linking individuals to the Creator and to each other. Oral teachings often depict the eagle's wide vantage point as a reminder to see the interconnectedness of all life. The eagle teaches that love's power transforms relationships when it breaks free from transactional constraints and judgment. In many recorded stories, the eagle's feather symbolizes a bond between the spiritual and human realms, signifying respect and trust. Elders recount that the eagle's high flight echoes the Creator's own perspective, a universal love that extends unconditionally. For the Anishinaabe, self-love becomes the prerequisite for extending that same compassionate regard to family, community, and the earth. In studying the social structures of indigenous communities in the Great Lakes region, some historians note that cultural norms, such as generous hospitality toward visitors, reflect this deeply held principle. Even the most humble meal, when shared, becomes an act of love, affirming collective well-being. Respect in the hoofprints of the buffalo. Wherever the buffalo, or bison, once roamed, the circle of life thrived. For centuries, these mighty creatures offered sustenance to indigenous peoples, meat for nourishment, hides for shelter and clothing, and bones for tools. The Anishinaabe recognized in the buffalo a reflection of respect, both for the gifts of the land and for the kinship between humans and animals. Respect, in this context, transcends polite behavior. It extends to a profound acknowledgement of sacred interconnectedness. The words of the Lakota elder Black Elk. The first peace, which is the most important, is that which comes within the souls of people when they realize their relationship with the universe. Reverberate across many indigenous traditions, illuminating a shared reverence for life. Scholars have noted parallels between buffalo-centered traditions and the Anishinaabes' approach to communal harmony. Through ceremonies, dances, and songs, communities expressed gratitude, ensuring they didn't hunt or gather in ways that depleted the land. This ethic of respect anchored indigenous societies, driving them to carefully regulate resource use. The buffalo stands, therefore, not simply as an animal, but as a teacher whose lessons about reciprocal care remain vital in modern dialogues about sustainability, facing fear with the bear. Among the creatures roaming the forests of the Great Lakes, the bear stands out for its imposing presence and fierce maternal instinct. In Anishinaabe teachings, the bear personifies bravery. Oral narratives stress that true courage arises from love rather than aggression, mirroring how a mother bear protects her cubs out of deep care. Bravery does not eradicate fear, it guides the individual to act in the face of that fear. Through ceremonial stories, children would hear about the bear's strength, its reliance on the forest's abundance, and its solitary introspection during winter hibernation. Interpreters of these tales, including certain elders, have linked the bear's seasonal cycle to an inward focus that fosters discernment and self-knowledge. In daily life, the call to bravery often materializes as standing against injustice, advocating for those who cannot speak for themselves, or upholding one's integrity even under social pressure. Ethnographic accounts from the 19th century frequently highlight how certain clans or societies within the Anishinaabe world embraced specific responsibilities. Some carried the medicine lodge, others oversaw hunting rites, yet all took collective responsibility for ensuring that bravery served to protect and nurture, never to dominate. The straight path of honesty. Sabe, often likened to the mysterious figure of Bigfoot, represents the teaching of honesty within Anishinaabe tradition. Tales of Sabe vary across regions, but consistently portray this figure as a being who walks in absolute alignment with its nature, never hiding or distorting its essence. Some elders interpret Sabe's rarity as a lesson that honesty, while not always immediately visible in daily life, remains a guiding star for those on a sincere spiritual path. Historical observations about Anishinaabe governance suggest that honesty intertwined with communal accountability. Councils and ceremonial gatherings provided forums where truths could be spoken openly and disagreements resolved through consensus. The teaching of honesty required individuals to align their thoughts, words, and deeds, thereby fostering an environment of mutual trust. In contemporary times, many see Sabe's symbolism as a counterpoint to the illusions cultivated by social media or public appearances. Anishinaabe educators often encourage youth to reflect inwardly, ensuring that their outward conduct reflects their core values. Humility in the call of the wolf. The wolf, thriving in close-knit packs, has long been celebrated among the Anishinaabe as a model for humility. A single wolf, no matter how strong, survives best when attentive to the needs of the group. Within the clan structure of Anishinaabe society, this same principle found expression in communal living. Each individual, while honoured for unique gifts, was expected to contribute for the benefit of all. Folkloric tales reference the wolf's willingness to follow the pack's elders, to learn from ancestral wisdom, and to care for the young. Anishinaabe teachers have long cited this dynamic as an example of bowing to a greater whole, recognizing that one's life is part of an intricate tapestry. Humility thus becomes a life practice, encouraging individuals to set aside ego-driven pursuits in favor of communal enrichment. Scholars of indigenous philosophy frequently connect this teaching to broader ecological ethics. Humility involves acknowledging that humans do not hold dominion over nature, but share a reciprocal partnership with it. The eternal nature of truth. Beneath the layers of these teachings lies truth, symbolized by the turtle. Among many Algonquian-speaking peoples, the turtle embodies the earth itself. Some creation stories imagine North America as Turtle Island, resting upon a turtle's back. Its steady, deliberate gait speaks to the enduring character of truth, an element that neither bends nor breaks. In describing truth, Anishinaabe elders emphasize that it operates as the bedrock of moral living. Every other teaching emerges naturally when guided by truth's unwavering clarity. The turtle's shell, sectioned into 13 segments corresponding to lunar cycles, further underscores the cyclical, ever-present reality of truth in the natural world. Historical documents from early French missionaries and explorers often marveled at the turtle beliefs of indigenous groups, interpreting them as mythic or poetic. To the Anishinaabe, however, these beliefs constitute lived reality, reminding each individual to carry personal integrity everywhere, just as the turtle carries its home. Reflections. Through the seasons. From the beaver's architectural wisdom to the turtle's patient truth, each of the 7 grandfather teachings informs an approach to life that values harmony over personal gain. In ancestral times, rituals, fasting, and vision quests provided opportunities for self-examination, allowing individuals to internalize these teachings on ever deeper levels. Many scholars and community-based researchers point out that such rites remain essential in modern-day Anishinaabe communities, bridging ancient traditions with contemporary realities. Over the centuries, forced assimilation policies and cultural upheavals threatened to sever ties with these teachings. Yet, the Anishinaabe have persistently found ways to keep them alive through storytelling circles, ceremonies such as the Midewiwin, Medicine Lodge, and educational programs that blend Western and indigenous pedagogies. This resilience testifies to the enduring power of a worldview in which each teaching is both symbol and truth, carrying insights for all who wish to walk in closer harmony with themselves, their communities, and the natural world. Some scholars argue that these teachings, while originating within Anishinaabe culture, hold universal relevance, particularly in an era of environmental crises and social disconnection. Their insistence on respect, love, and shared responsibility transcends cultural boundaries, offering guidance to any society grappling with how to live sustainably and ethically. Just as the boy in the original story returned from the grandfathers with lessons for his people, modern listeners can likewise draw from these living principles to forge a renewed sense of responsibility and compassion. In each season, whether the ice-laden winters or the blossom-filled springs, Anishinaabe teachings echo a promise that humanity can find equilibrium through reverence for creation and for one another. The 7 grandfather teachings serve as reminders that life's deeper truths are often best understood not merely through intellectual grasp, but through daily practice and heartfelt humility. As the stories and ceremonies continue to be shared, they plant seeds of wisdom in generations to come, ensuring that these ancient gifts remain vital and strong.